35-25. Launch pass to Chambers and behind the back.
Did you ever think in your wildest dreams? I guess you did.
KJ to Chambers. Jam!
40 points in the first half for Tom Chambers.
Chambers to win the game. He's got it. Welcome back to Tom Chambers' Greatest Games. In this episode, we go back to the 1990-91 NBA season opener with the Phoenix Suns versus the Utah Jazz in the first ever NBA regular season game played overseas. Playing in Tokyo, Japan, and despite the travel and time zone change, Chambers would play in one of his best games of this new season, scoring 38 points and grabbing 10 rebounds in a 23-point blowout of the Utah Jazz. And Chambers would be named Player of the Game by none other than Ernie Johnson in his early years at TNT. So let's go back to November 2nd, 1990, the Phoenix Suns at the Utah Jazz from Tokyo, Japan.
Kevin Johnson and Tom Chambers have led the Phoenix Suns to the Western Conference Finals 2 years running. Last year, they got the league's attention when they beat the Jazz 3-2 in round one. They earned the league's respect when they beat the Lakers in 5. This year, the Rising Suns are ready to win it all. In Utah, once again, expectations fell short. One Malone apparently was not enough. So, they got another, Jeff Malone, hoping to move up one more step. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Tokyo, Japan, and a sellout crowd of over 10,000 have come to the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium to see the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns open up the regular season. Hello, everybody. I'm Ron Thulin, and konnichiwa, which is Japanese for good afternoon. Well, the last time the Phoenix Suns and the Utah Jazz met, of course, was in the first round of the NBA playoffs this season, and it was a great series. It went to 5 games. The fifth and final game decided in the final seconds on a Kevin Johnson shot, and that gave Phoenix the win, 104-102, and they're expecting to pick up where they left off. And we welcome you back to the Metropolitan Gymnasium in Tokyo, Japan, where a crowd of over 10,000 on hand, a sellout crowd where tickets went for about $80 a pop, have come to see these two of the best in the NBA. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, the Jeep Eagles starting lineups for tonight. First of all, the visiting Phoenix Suns. They are the visiting team. And starting at forwards, it'll be Tom Chambers and Kurt Rambis. Mark West will man the center position. Jeff Hornacek and Kevin Johnson to guard Hubie Brown, the same starting 5 we saw in the playoffs. And Cotton Fitzsimmons, the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. And I'll look at the starting lineup for the Utah Jazz. Thurl Bailey will be starting at forward. Of course, look for Blue Edwards to come in quickly in that lineup. Karl Malone at the other forward. Big Mark Eaton, as Hubie mentioned at the top, having problems with his elbow. Jeff Malone and John Stockton will be at guard. And, of course, the head coach in his 3rd year at Utah, we speak of Jerry Sloan. So we've got the same starting 5, basically, for both teams that were in the playoffs, except for the fact Thurl Bailey will be getting the starting nod at forward.
Well, the reason why they play Bailey is in the matchup with Tommy Chambers. He does the best job defensively, matching size and also the long arms and a potential shot blocking.
But Thurl Bailey also had a pretty good job on Chambers in the playoffs, as you mentioned, and that is why he is in the lineup. But when they look for offense, will they bring Edwards in? Because he was also a pretty good defensive performer.
Well, I think that they're kind of happy with their starting unit right now. They feel that it can match up with any other 5 in the league with the addition of Jeff Malone. When you have Thurl Bailey in there, what has happened now is you are depleting your offense from your bench strength. If there's anything lacking in Utah, it's proven quality scoring off the bench.
Let's talk about the Utah Jazz just for a minute, Hubie. The fact that they were 1-3 last year against the Phoenix Suns. They haven't changed a lot of the plays, although they've added Jeff Malone. Have people learned to defend them now, doubling down on Karl Malone?
Well, I think that the strategy that Detroit put in last year of doubling Karl Malone, big man, by that I mean Lambier would leave the center and go over and double team all the time. The rest of the teams picked that up at the tail end of the season and in the playoffs. And it's extremely successful because what you're doing now is you're cutting down on the shot attempts of Karl Malone. We are going to prove to you that we can get the job done playing power basketball.
But honestly, there were some complaints last year following the playoffs about the Utah Jazz, and that is a sight to behold, and I'm sure that little girl will never... I'm surprised she's not running and hiding. But there were some complaints, but Scott Layden of the Jazz says, wait a minute, we only lost the final game by 2 points. There's no reason to break our team up, and that's sort of a compliment. They've always been a very conservative organization. And we are set for the first regular season game with the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns. Of course, we hope you enjoyed the first game of our doubleheader this evening on TNT as we begin a very exciting season of NBA action. And jumping center, of course, for Utah will be big Mark Eaton, and he has been quite a sight walking around the streets of Japan here and going up again against a man that really improved himself last year, Mark West.
Well, when you look at Utah Jazz, you think about them, it's definite half-court basketball from the foul line down, a lot of screening along the baseline.
Malone, stop at 15, gives it up to Stockton. 8 on the shot clock to Eaton. There it is. Hornacek gets Eaton up in the air. No place to go. Shot clock down to 3. Chambers launches one.
The major asset of the Phoenix Suns, their ability to hit the perimeter shot.
Stockton to Malone. Malone takes that big step. It goes down. Lee Jones says count it.
Finding the free people.
Talking to some of the younger players, they say that is what is important when they watch him as Chambers tries to take it to the hole, and we've got a whistle and another foul. Tom Chambers set Suns single-season score mark last year, over 2,200 points, averaged 27 a game. That was good for 4th in the NBA. Looking for his 3rd point. Swipe that one away. Here comes Stockton. Hesitates, goes up with the right hand. Were they concerned of Stockton getting in foul trouble, or as Tom Chambers goes hard with the left hand?
See, there's that cut that we said.
Jeff Malone switches over to Jeff Hornacek. Chambers on Bailey. Oh, we've got a whistle.
See, this is an excellent matchup. See, Bailey didn't think that. He fouled him. Anytime that you guard Tommy Chambers from the right side of the floor, you must remember he wants to go to his left on Utah to play big. Due to the fact that somebody now must stop Tommy Chambers.
Chambers gets the first. Also checking into the Phoenix lineup. Dan Marley comes in. Hornacek sits down. And Dan Marley even played a little point guard against Denver in an exhibition game. He can play 2. He can play the 3. And quite an asset for Fitzsimmons.
Well, they love the enthusiasm. Last year, he only shot 42%, but he's one of those kind of guys. He's a player who scores and can make the big shot under pressure.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Ernie Johnson in Atlanta will be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. That'll be coming up immediately following the contest, where right now the Phoenix Suns lead the Jazz 24-23. Kevin Johnson with 10 points for Phoenix. Karl Malone with 10 for Utah.
Utah's doing an excellent job on the penetration of the dribblers.
Now Hornacek puts the belly on Stockton, doesn't do any good.
Come on, that was a little backyard ball.
Yeah, really. No blood, no foul. Chambers.
See, this is what we said early.
Stockton tries to dish it off. Kenny Battle comes down. He's got Marley. Doesn't see him. Finally does. Horny has it stripped, and that'll probably end the first quarter. A shot with 1 second left. Doesn't go down, and Chambers. Lou Edwards had about another half a second, but he took the shot anyway. We have played 1 quarter of basketball in Tokyo, Japan. And the Utah Jazz lead the Phoenix Suns by 1. We'll be back. Eddie Johnson throws it away. Lou Edwards. Good pass to Karl Malone. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. The rookie puts it right in. Oh, but West comes back with the slam.
And 1.
Goes right to his hand. Uh-oh. Get the tape rolling. The 1989-90 assist leaders is our first category, and we have 2 of the 3 here this evening. John Stockton by 3 over Magic Johnson, taking the lead in that category. And the scoring leader from 1989-90, of course, Michael Jordan at 33.6. Karl Malone right behind, and Tom Chambers number 4. Kevin Johnson. Stockton tries to go behind the back. Tom Chambers goes, spots up and hits it. Right around Marlon.
Nice. Oh. Like they say in the playground, nice choice. And they're telling him, listen, catch it and put it on the floor.
Really, something new is Kevin Johnson lets it go at the buzzer. Well, my friends, we have played 24 minutes of basketball in Tokyo, Japan, and we'll send you back to Atlanta with Phoenix leading the Jazz by 1.
That when you're fronted, that you cannot get the ball to the guy if you lob it to the corner of the board.
You said Chambers likes to go to his left, and he did exactly that. Double team, they're giving KJ that 20-footer, doesn't take it. Chambers, about an 18, goes down. Stockton trying to cut off Kevin Johnson. Chambers, to the bottom. West comes down with the rebound, and the Suns have a 3-on-2. Hornacek, back to Chambers. Beautiful. Now right to Eaton. What a move. Doesn't get it. Chambers can't get the follow.
And most important, Utah's missing the long rebound and igniting the Phoenix fast break 3-on-2.
That foul was on Jeff Malone, his first. And Chambers now 4 of 5 from the line. Had 11 first-half points. 9 here in the second for 20. Blue Edwards is checked into the lineup. Thurl Bailey will sit down.
Yeah, Tommy Chambers has the complete game. He's not only a good post-up player, he's excellent off the dribble with either hand. Gets to the foul shot at least 8 to 9 times a night. And then he caps it off by being an outstanding three-point threat.
And as you say, he's one of the toughest covers in the NBA.
Absolutely.
Rebound. He has Marley. It's a 2-on-2. Chambers tries to take it on Rudd, and we'll have a whistle and a foul on Delaney Rudd. Their hospitality is remarkable. And the fastest room service in McDonald's in the history of man.
You know, an added problem for the players here tonight is the incredible heat in this building. I know the air conditioning is on because we were here for the 2 days of practice.
Right.
But I'll tell you, I'm sweating up a storm, and I'm not even playing.
Exactly. Stockton with 5 seconds. Takes a big step, tries to get it to Bailey, and they don't even get a shot off, and that makes a coach cringe. We have played 3 quarters at the Metropolitan Gymnasium in Tokyo, and it is the Phoenix Suns leading the Utah Jazz by 13.
Attack their front court people because they'll let me in because they don't want to foul me.
Well, there's a defensive adjustment that needs to be made as Chambers left open for the easy jumper.
That stops their momentum.
That is the way it's supposed to be done.
Isn't it interesting? He's done it 3 times and he has 3 field goals.
Got the basket on the other end with Tom Chambers, but still, Karl Malone got the double team. There was Markey.
That's always open. See, but you can't fall asleep here because we said at the top of the show, Phoenix loves the...
Kevin Johnson dishes off to Chambers. Good pass, and Tom Chambers with the field goal.
Gary Sloan looking for the timeout. See, this is...
And even TNT is recognized in the land of the rising sun. Let's take a look at that last play.
Now, this is what we mean by picking out the right people. Now, here's a good move, and then you have Chambers moving without the ball on the baseline to receive the nice pass.
Kevin Johnson has the double team. That leaves Chambers open, takes a big step, doesn't get it. It's the second time they've run that. He's been open both times.
Well, that was their pet play last year. They're so dangerous when Kevin Johnson comes up the right side of the floor. A, he can take you one-on-one. Then Chambers slides into the picture, and he gives him a pick and roll. If you double-team Kevin Johnson, they throw back to Chambers. Now he's a threat for a 3. Now your big forward comes up. Chambers is so good at taking you off the dribble, especially to his left hand. He just breaks you down.
That is what he has been doing as Tom Chambers missed his last 2 free throws now. Tom Chambers has really found sort of a comfort zone at Phoenix, hasn't he?
You know what it is? It's the people appreciate his game. You know, he felt that, a lot of people, when he came in with the Clippers and then went up in Seattle, a lot of guys said, you know what he is? He's got a selfish game. He's an outstanding player, but he causes friction. But you know what? All you hear from the Phoenix staff is how coachable he is. Why? Because he's also the main focus here. Exactly. He and Kevin Gunn. So you know the shots are there, the minutes are there, and there's no pressure.
And the man we speak of gets the rebound. As Dan Majerle up walking around, as you saw, he got a knee in the right thigh, the same spot he was sitting in the first quarter. All the way to the hole, Tom Chambers. He averaged 106 points last year offensively. Chambers!
See, you know that Phoenix is not going to just attack the trap and hold the ball.
That fans appreciating him diving for the ball. Major League Baseball has an all-star team here, and the Japanese people are disappointed that the Major League Baseball, well, three-point shooting so far. Phoenix 0 for 4. Utah 0 for 2 is Tom Chambers. 34 points. Make that 35. 9 out of 12 from the line. Chambers' high last year was, of course, that 60-point game. Played in 81 of the 82 regular season games for the Suns. As we mentioned earlier, good free throw shooter, 86%.
See, the league has really appreciated his talents. He's now made the second-team All-NBA 2 years in a row. That's a terrific compliment.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Malone off the iron. Rebound. Outlet. 3-on-1 to Chambers. Hello, my friends.
See, that's the old story of the right choice. Reward the big guys once again. Now watch the extension of Chambers on this dunk. Beautiful.
Walter Palmer. Outlet to Delaney Rudd, and they'll end it on a sour note. Almost fitting. And that is the final. Phoenix defeating Utah this evening. The final again, 119-96. Hubie and I will be back in a moment to wrap things up from Tokyo, Japan. Stay with us. Once again, our final score, 119-96. Phoenix wins it. For Hubie Brown and our entire crew in Tokyo, Japan, I'm Ron Thurl saying goodbye, everybody, and stay with us now as we go back to our studios in Atlanta with Ernie Johnson and our Budweiser Player of the Game. Ernie?
All right, thank you very much, Ron Thurl. And I knew, folks, if they kept yelling air ball enough over there, somebody'd finally throw one up there, and they did right at the end. 119-96, Phoenix wins it. Our Bud Player of the Game, really no question about this one. Tom Chambers of the Phoenix Suns. What a night. 38 points, hit 14 out of 20 from the field. Pulled down 10 rebounds. Tom Chambers, the Bud Player of the Game.